Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to wake up on this beautiful February 26th morning and say hello, good morning. I felt so compelled to introduce you to one of my guardian spirit allies. The guardians have really come into my awareness in the last 6 or 8 months. These are the spirit beings that protect us, um, that keep us shiny, that keep us from taking in too much of the density of this collective changeover that's happening right now. We are in a great time of just turning over of the old. This is not working for us anymore. And tilling the soil, allowing for what's underneath, the nutrients that have been settled down below for so long, need to come up, need to be tilled up to see the light of day, so that we can move forward into a golden age that we all are ready for. We're ready. And these videos and things that I'm putting out there to you are a reminder that if you're feeling any certain way, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling lonely, reach out to someone that you love and care about. And just, you don't even have to necessarily talk about that, but that's great, wonderful way to release it. But just human contact is such a healing element, and separation is what keeps us from being fully healed. And in this great time of change, there are energies that don't love this change. They want to hold on to what's comfortable, what feels safe, even though it's no longer serving the greater aspects of humanity. So reach out, connect with an actual real human being, and it will change the outlook of the day, and hopefully little by little change the outlook of the future, right? That's what we are all about, bringing it together home with beautiful love in our hearts. So I'm grateful to everyone who watches it and gets any sort of feeling of comfort or whatever you get from it. Know that I am in this with you. I feel it with you in this difficulty. And I'm, wake up daily and in gratitude, hope to just be a creative force to bring and show my love in a continual fashion. So that's my morning message and blessing for all of you. I also want to introduce you to this guy here who sits on my mesa. And right now I have that funny blur screen on, so you can't see my messes in the background, because I am also human. This is Altazar, and I wanted to tell you the story of how Altazar came to be, and how I made the acquaintance of Altazar back in 2021, when I was at the beginning of my apprenticeship with the Pachakuti Mesa Tradition, with my beautiful teacher, mentor, sister, Barbara Hallman. It was going into the fall of 2021, and I had recently gotten the news from my family that my then, I think he was 31 years old, nephew had come down with a case of stage 4 colon cancer. Devastating, just absolutely devastating. There's no this type of cancer in my family. This was out of the blue, came out of nowhere. And immediately with my tribe, with my IU, I felt very called to get together and do a healing ceremony. And so we did do that, but I'm going to back it up a little bit beforehand. So I had asked my nephew if he was okay with me sending him healing, uh, shamanic healing and Reiki healing, and he said yes, he was fine with that. So I would sit at my mesa and I would send distant healing to him. And in one of my healing sessions, I became aware of this beautiful obsidian dragon, just this gorgeous giant of a dragon, and he was black and shiny and fierce, and his skin and scales had this purple sheen to them, and he's just this gorgeous creature. And his abilities, I came to find, were he has a black dragon breath, which can transmute the worst densities, whether they be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, on the soul level, whatnot. So he roars this black breath, fire dragon breath, and he can disintegrate lots and lots of dis-ease. Yes, exactly. So and then he also has a white dragon breath, and he will use this breath after a clearing and a cleansing. And this white breath is a purifying, it purifies the space in its wake, right? So it gives the energies that are being cleared and cleansed, that are being called upon to be healed. It gives them a space of purity, and with that joyful, restful space. He also has a beautiful um, heart on his tail, which isn't really depicted in my medicine piece that I have on my art, which maybe at some point that will change. His tail is an upside down heart. And to those who really want to know, if you ask him, he will show you your greatest potential and your truest heart's desire. He will show that to you. He will give you that gift if you ask him. He also has these beautiful red, searing eyes that are terrifying at first glance, but when you are pinned in their gaze, they are the most loving, loyal, supportive is a better word, not loyal, supportive um, looks come your way. And so that's Altazar's beauty. So when Altazar came about, I thought he was Elliot's dragon. My nephew is Elliot, and so I was grateful. And Altazar didn't have a name for quite a few weeks, maybe even months. But he began showing up regularly for Elliot and in these healing sessions. And it was around the time of working with, and I may have my timelines wrong, as does with spirit. Sometimes the gnosis is there, the knowledge is there of how these came about, and the timeline gets skewed because they've always been there. They've always been of support. Sometimes it just takes us getting, that proverbial knock on the head uh, to recognize it. So we were planning this beautiful healing session, and I think there were 7 of us in total, possibly more, 8, because I believe there were members included that were not just necessarily of the PMTIU. So we we facilitated a most beautiful healing session, and it was there from then on that I knew that Altazar was a guardian spirit. He had come to work with me as a guardian ally, and I didn't recognize him as a guardian until very recently. But he sits in the northwest of my mesa, and he kind of is an overseer. He's an overlooker. And I recognize now that he put himself in that space, in that Hanak Pacha place on my mesa, to be an overseer as well as purveyor of spiritual guidance. Uh, Also, yeah. So um, I am grateful in the respect of going through the trauma of a young person going through such a terrible disease at a young age. Um, Grateful to have through that trauma made and become aware of a beautiful spirit ally, and in that aspect I'm very grateful. And I can also say at this point in time, my beautiful nephew has been healed from his cancer. He is cancer free. And in fact, him and his beautiful wife recently welcomed a beautiful little baby boy in October. And his name is Elliot James, and we call him LJ. And he's a miracle baby. So I just wanted to share with you that sometimes in our deepest um, times of need, when we are open to what spirit has to offer, our allies are there. They're always there. And I just want to offer gratitude for my beautiful Altazar, that he sits, like I said. It took some time for me to formulate and get the perfect medicine piece to embody him on my mesa, but he sits there always, and he is a part of my mesa that reflects who I am. And I can't wait to continue to share about what my mesa does for me, and the beautiful transformative way my life has changed since I have found shamanism, and since I have become a shamanic uh, lineage sanctioned teacher in this Pachakuti Mesa tradition. And I look to grow that and grow the community, and be steeped within the shamanic world, whether it's PMT or other shamanic branches. We all have the same heart. We all want to live on this healed planet and take care of Pachamama, our Mother Earth, in a loving way, so that we can get back to our true natures in a loving way. And I just wanted to offer this beautiful message this morning. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon.